imagine if there was a place, a new dimension, a dimension of change,
We will pass judgment.
a dimension of possibility,
No loopholes, no excuses.
where an anomaly created a reaction of events past.
It doesn't change what happened at WrestleMania.
Paving the way for an alternate future.
All good things must come to an end. I am constantly operating at God mode.
Tonight, we cross over. And what happens here
You're not going to say I quit. You're going to scream it when I turn your elbow backward. Quitting is not in my DNA.
Alright guys, so I just wanted to play that short clip of the opening to the recent WWE show on the 8th. And the reason I wanted to play that is because, did you guys hear the symbolism that they're speaking of? An anomaly that changes the timeline. And you're hearing this a lot in a lot of the Marvel movies, the multiverses, and that Doctor Strange movie that just came out. There's been so many shows and movies that have come out in the past couple years that are about this same concept, about different timelines and different, different directions, different anomalies and stuff in the time-space continuum, kind of like what people believe CERN is trying to do over there in Switzerland. Well, so I wanted to show you that because in the very beginning of that little clip that I showed, there was a guy named Edge, and I'm going to show you how his newly formed group, the Judgment Day, is very symbolic to the Society of Jesus. I'm going to show you how the Jesuits have their names all over this, and I'm also going to, branch off from talking about the WWE, and I'm going to show you I've been waiting to make this video for a while, guys, because this is going to be about one of my favorite bands as a kid, and I'm going to show you just how crazy they are synced with the Society of Jesus. So let's get into it. The Society of Jesus, also known as the Jesuits, is a religious order of the Catholic Church. Okay? Founded by Ignatius of Loyola. They operate in 112 nations. Okay, so this is the prerequisite information. If you guys don't already know, most of you probably already do, but this is just to get you guys started. Now I'm going to show you how this guy, Edge, so let's move forward. So this is Edge. He's been a wrestler for a long time. You can see he's 48 years old, so he's quite old. And he's still wrestling. He just came back. He actually couldn't wrestle for many years because they said he had a bad neck. And then miraculously, he comes back and he's able to wrestle again. Notice that his height is 6'5", kind of like reverse 56, like Society of Jesus equals 56. Also notice that, he was born in October, not too far after Ignatius of Loyola, who was born on October 23rd. But just look at this, guys. A Jesuit is 21, and Edge is 21, and that's his ring name in WWE is Edge. His real name is Adam Joseph Copeland, and I'm going to show you how that's all tied together. So, but the first thing I want to mention here is in the beginning of the video, you saw his current character that he just started to play, and he just formed a new group in WWE, and it's called the Judgment Day. Okay, and he pretty much is using biblical terms, saying that it's the Judgment Day, right? And so he just recruited 2 people, 1 girl and 1 guy, to be part of his group. I want to zoom in here so you guys can see his little symbol there. It looks exactly, or very similar, to the Society of Jesus logo as the sun, Let me go back right here. See that Sun IHS logo? Well, Edge's logo is very similar. And here's a picture. You can see the wings behind them. Like a phoenix wings or a crow or something rising out. Just very, very dark and ominous. And their whole gimmick is about judging. Okay, so making the final judgment, weighing the scales. And notice that the Judgment Day, which is the name of the group, is a direct match Well, not all the ciphers, but it's a close match in most of the ciphers with Adam Joseph Copeland, that's the real name of Edge, who is the leader of this group. And again, remember, Edge itself is a match to Jesuit, and I'm going to show you how the Jesuits are just continually tying this stuff together. Well, what I want to really mention here is that Edge in WWE, he's known for having good music, entrance music. And this is where it gets into my favorite band growing up. Their name is Alter Bridge, out of Orlando, Florida. Okay? They used to be the band Creed. If any of you rockers out there remember the band Creed in the 1990s, Alter Bridge is almost the same band except for a different lead singer. And I'm going to get into how coded the lead singer is here in a little bit. But I just want to show you guys how crazy. I just showed you that Edge is tied to the Jesuits, but just the music that he uses the band that he uses for his music is also very tied to the Jesuits. Notice that Society of Jesus is 191 and 56. Well, Alter Bridge is 101 and 56. And if you type in Edge the Judge, which is the character that he's playing right now, you're going to get a direct match to Alter Bridge, which is the music he uses. So his current gimmick as the Judge is a direct match when you type it in with Alter Bridge, which is the music he uses. Now, in the Society of Jesus, it's also a match there, guys. Like I said, they're showing us their hands pretty easily here. But notice that Blackbird is one of the most famous albums of Alter Bridge. And notice that behind him was a bird, almost like a blackbird. And Blackbird's a very famous song by Alter Bridge. But the one thing I want to point out here is that you see the list of albums here from Alter Bridge, and I've got the third one highlighted. It's called Walk the Sky, and I'm going to show you just how crazy this album is, and how it's tied to Event 201 and the Society of Jesus. So, notice, guys, that, and if you're not familiar with Event 201, it was a coronavirus pandemic simulation. Before coronavirus even started, they simulated this very thing that ended up coming true. And that took place on the 18th of October, 2019 in China, as you can see here at the very top. Okay, well, what's interesting about that day is that the same day that happened, Alter Bridge released their album, Walk the Sky. Notice here, guys, on October 18th, the same day, Alter Bridge releases the album, Walk the Sky. I just showed you that they have a match with Society of Jesus. I just also showed you that they held Event 201 on the same day that Alter Bridge releases their album, Walk the Sky. And notice that the Jesuit order equals 201, just like it was Event 201. Now, here's what's even crazier, guys, is the Jesuit motto is Ad Merum Dei Gloriam, okay, which means for the greater glory of God in English, okay, but the phrase Ad Merum Dei Gloriam in Latin is a direct match to Alter Bridge, Walk the Sky, okay? So, Alter Bridge releases the album on the same day of Event 201, Jesuit order equals 201, okay? The motto of the Jesuits is a direct match to the album and the name of the band combined, okay? So, can't get any more clear than that. Now, let's bring in another interesting thing with Alter Bridge. So, you got Ignatius of Loyola, who was the founder of the Jesuits, okay? And then you have the current Pope, Pope Francis. His full name is Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Okay, notice that Ignatius of Loyola is 201. Jorge Mario Bergoglio is 201. And notice that the music producer who produces all of Alter Bridge's albums, his name is Michael Elvis Baskett. Okay? And this article I posted right here is specifically about the Walk the Sky album, when I just showed you back here, that was released on the same day as Event 201. And Michael Elvis Baskett, of course, guys, is a direct match to the founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, 201 and 75. And obviously the Jesuit Pope, that's our current Pope, Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Again, so even their producer, and this guy, he produces all of Alter Bridge's albums, so that's why I thought it was interesting, because he's been with them for a long time, and his name equals 201. Remember, they released their album on the same day as Event 201. So, now I want to talk about the song that Edge is using for his theme in WWE. It's called The Other Side, and it's by Alter Bridge. And just notice the lyrics: just step into the dark, it's waiting, take your vow, it's time, playing God tonight. The Jesuits play God over the world, okay? Take your vow, If you believe yours is the only way, then you're the fool who lives to die. So they're essentially telling us guys not to question them and not to think our way is the only way, that whatever they have planned for us is the right way. Okay, that's essentially what this song is saying. And it says, you will deserve the hell you're going to pay on the other side. Okay, and notice that it says, the ritual's begun. Okay, so again, a ritual, just like all these number rituals that continually happen with the Jesuits. This song is very telling. Now, what I want to mention about this song is that it's called The Other Side. And I mentioned this in prior video. But what was the thing on last year during the Astroworld Crowd Crush event, where people died in a crowd crush? What was written on the stage behind Travis Scott? Well, it was "See You on the Other Side," just like the song The Edge is currently using in his Judgment Day group is called The Other Side. And notice that the Jesuits and The Other Side are a direct match in two ciphers. Also, Astroworld is a match with the 62s in reverse full reduction. And again, this is tied to Alter Bridge, who wrote the song The Other Side, and then Astroworld that had the background saying "See You on the Other Side." Again, the Jesuits have their name on this as it's a match. So now, again, this is the same slide I had up before, but I wanted to bring this up again before I show you the next slide. So remember, Ad Merum Dei Gloriam is the saying for the Jesuits, okay? But in English, that means "for the greater glory of God," okay? I just showed you how Ad Merum Dei Gloriam is a match to Alter Bridge Walk the Sky. But what about in English? Okay, well, remember guys, in a few days, we have Friday the 13th, which can be written on May 13th, which can be written 135 internationally, okay? I showed you in my last video yesterday that Zach Hubbard thought that tomorrow could be a day for a false flag or some sort of terrorist event because it was lining up in dates with other Friday the 13th, okay? But just notice, you can write this Friday the 13th, 135, okay? And that's coming up in a few days, all right? And notice that terrorism equals 135. And then not only that, guys, look at the very bottom of this slide. You're going to see that a total lunar eclipse will take place 3 days after Friday the 13th on the 16th. Lunar eclipse equals 135, just like the Friday the 13th is on 135. Notice that Alter Bridge's Walk the Sky album is 135. And notice that if you write out "for the greater glory of God," which is the English version of the Jesuits' motto, it's also 135. Okay? And here's the kicker, guys. From Event 201 on October 18th, 2019, when Walk the Sky was released, and Event 201 happened that same day, to May 20th, which is a huge day for the Jesuits, it's exactly 135 weeks. Just like Walk the Sky is 135, lunar eclipse, So May 20th is going to possibly be a huge day. A lot of people think the Queen's going to die on that day. But remember, "for the greater glory of God" also equals 135. The Jesuits love that motto. And again, I just showed you how it's tied to Alter Bridge, okay? So interesting that it's 135 weeks exactly to May 20th from that day that they released the album and the day of Event 201. Now, I want to bring in Myles Kennedy. He's the lead singer for Alter Bridge. Notice that his last name is Kennedy, and we all know there's a very famous person in this world named Kennedy. And I'm going to show you how he's connected. But the first thing I want to state here is that Myles Kennedy has released 2 solo albums on his own without Alter Bridge. And in these 2 albums are very significant because one of them is called Year of the Tiger. And guys, we are currently in Year of the Tiger. Now, this Year of the Tiger album was released March 9th, 2018. So it was released almost 4 years ago. And that was, the next Year of the Tiger was going to be 2022. And I'm going to show you how this Year of the Tiger album, I think, was predicting what's going to happen in this Year of the Tiger we're currently in 2022. Now, notice that the other album that he released, which was last year, was called The Ides of March. Now, The Ides of March normally takes place in March 15th. Remember, guys, March 15th is also another combination of 1, 3, and 5, okay? Just like Friday the 13th is a combination of 1, 3, and 5, okay? So it's interesting that he releases the album called The Ides of March last year. And look what day he released it, guys. He released the album last year called The Ides of March on May 14th. So that means the 1-year anniversary of this album will be coming up in 2 days, because today's the 12th. But right now I want to focus on the album Year of the Tiger. I want to show you some lyrics, and I want to show you how this is tied together. Well, but first, guys, I want to show you how crazy this is. So Myles Kennedy, obviously, the first thing you think of when you hear the name Kennedy is John F. Kennedy, okay? Notice that from the day that John F. Kennedy died, which was 11/22/1963, to the day that Myles Kennedy was born, which was November 27th, 1969, it's exactly 6 years and 6 days, 66. Not only that, guys, but it's 314 weeks, which is pi, which is the completion of a circle, pi. Okay? Very interesting that it's exactly a span of 314 weeks from the death of John F. Kennedy to the birth of Myles Kennedy. Now, Myles Kennedy is not his real name. That's his stage name. His real name is Myles Richard Bass. But the name that he uses is Myles Kennedy. And it's just interesting that he was born exactly 314 weeks after John F. Kennedy died. And so, again, he was born in the same month that John F. Kennedy died in. He was born 7 days after the anniversary of the death of not 7, but 5 days. So, again, I believe this is tied together. I need to look more into this connection. But, so let's look at this song off the Year of the Tiger. Remember, I told you guys that Myles Kennedy released an album called Year of the Tiger in 2018. When I believe that he was predicting what's going to happen this year. Now, look at the language that's used in this lyrics, guys. The main chorus of the song goes like this: on a cold, cruel July. Okay? This is why I think July could be very bad, guys. Because he's talking about the Year of the Tiger, and he's talking about, in the song that's called Year of the Tiger, he's talking about a cold, cruel July. Notice that on a cold, cruel July is almost a direct match to Society of Jesus, 191 and 65. You just flip the 65, you mirror it, you get 56. Okay? Notice that the other one I have highlighted is we didn't know just when the pale horse would arrive, referencing the book of Revelation, the pale horse, right? Notice that phrase down at the very bottom, guys, we didn't know just when the pale horse would arrive, is 223, like reverse Skull and Bones is 322, right? The Skull and Bones Secret Society. And 176 in septenary. Well, look at the phrase of Revelation, the first sentence of Revelations 13:18, where they talk about the mark of the beast. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, is exactly a match in both ciphers, 223 and 176. So again, he's talking about a cold, cruel July in the Year of the Tiger, a pale horse arriving, which matches with a beast coming out of the earth. You know, it's a direct match to, that on a cold, cruel July is a direct match to Society of Jesus, guys. And that, it doesn't stop there, guys, because now I want to talk about one of the songs on his album last year that he released, which was called The Ides of March, okay? This is 2 clips from the video I took, okay? And this whole video is about basically calling people that question, basically trying to make fun of conspiracy theorists, right? That's what this whole, pretty much, I'm going to show you the lyrics in a minute, but I just want you to understand how they're playing reverse psychology on you, or on people. They're trying to make people say, oh, just live your life and just let things happen. You're going to waste your life if you worry about all these theories. But notice, guys, that in the very first part of the video, he's reading a newspaper, and the newspaper says, aliens are coming. And remember, this album was released almost a year before Putin invaded Ukraine. But notice that aliens are coming is a direct match in septenary with Vladimir Putin. Again, this is foreshadowing. And later in the video, you see tanks, like the tanks that you would be seeing in Russia and Ukraine right now. So again, this was predicting or saying that Putin would invade Ukraine a year before it even happened. Okay, so another interesting connections with the phrase aliens are coming is, well, first of all, Vladimir Putin is currently 69 years old, guys. That's why I got the random 69 in there. But aliens are coming equals 82. National emergency equals 82. Terrorist attack equals 82. Jorge Bergoglio, which is the first and last name of the Pope, 82. Synagogue of Satan is 82. State of emergency, just like national emergency, is 82. And ritual sacrifice is 82. Okay, so a lot of interesting connections there. The First Purge is the name of a movie that came out, and I'm going to try to tie more into that in future videos. But, so yeah, that's the interesting thing about the phrase aliens are coming, which is on the very first scenes of his music video. Okay. Now notice also, guys, that on the phone sitting next to the newspaper, there's the phrase alien invasion. And obviously, alien invasion equals 144, just like Jesuit Order 144 and Mark of the Beast 144. There's probably more decoding here, but I just wanted to keep it simple, guys. But you can see the Jesuits are all over this. Okay. Now I want to talk about the lyrics. Notice that the lyrics, again, are talking down conspiracy theories. It's saying you can panic and you can burrow and wait. Impending doom is always on the take. One day you'll wake up and it'll be too late. You didn't take it all in stride. Okay. The song is called In Stride. Okay. You can tremble as you fear for your life. You can bitch about the sign of the times. But the truth is that you got to decide if you're only wasting your life. So basically it's like he's trying to say, this is a thing that everyone uses. Well, you're just wasting your life trying to expose all these conspiracy theories. They're just theories, right? That's what they're trying to downplay it, right? But notice that the main line of the chorus is just take it all in stride. And just take it all in stride just happens to be a direct match to be still and know that I am God, which is a reference to the Bible. Very famous line in the Bible. Now, what's interesting about that is that it's literally about the same thing. Just taking it all in stride is about the same thing as be still and knowing that I am God, right? The Jesuits want you to be still and let them know that they are God, right? That's essentially what I believe they're saying here, okay? And you guys can read the rest of the lyrics. You can just pause it and make your own observations. But again, very clear that they want you to downplay the theories, right? And they want to push the limits with the theories too. They want to actually make people think of alien invasions. They want to make people think that conspiracy theorists are crazy, and the real conspiracy theorists aren't theories. We know that with gematria, the Jesuits are running the world. Aliens are not we're not worried about aliens. We're worried about the Jesuits. They're trying to make it seem far-fetched by saying that aliens are invading, right? So anyways, now I just want to point out again that album where that song I just talked about was released on May 14th last year. So that means that in a few days, on 2 days, it'll be exactly a year, okay? And that whole song on that album was about alien invasions and conspiracy theories, okay? And so you're telling me that exactly a year later, Congress was holding a public hearing on UFOs around the year anniversary of the very album where Miles Kennedy talks about alien invasions. And now the Congress, or the House's panel will hold its first public hearing on UFOs in decades. And I just thought that was a good way to end the video, guys, because it seems like they were predicting that with this song well in advance, with it saying aliens are coming, and now all of a sudden you have Congress wanting to talk about unidentified flying objects, which are associated with aliens. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys were able to understand all that, put it all together, how the Jesuits are leaving their names all over everything. And for me, it's like, I love this band growing up. Their music's still good to me, but it's like, even the people you think are good guys, they're ultimately working for the higher-ups. So anyways, guys, take care. Have a great day. Many blessings. Much peace to you. See you in the next one.